has high hopes for success in the opera world. Lindsay Killian, a BYU graduate, majored in oboe for her bachelor's and vocal performance for her master's. Lawrence Vicent, a BYU professor, directed Lindsay during her master's work. He says Lindsay has the potential for great success.
Lindsay impressed me right from the beginning with her sincerity, with her humility, her modesty, her hard work, and her all that on top of an extremely gifted voice.
After winning top honors at the Metropolitan Opera, the New York Times called her voice vibrant.
It's not very often, first of all, from out here that anyone gets to be in the New York Times. But so first of all, being there was pretty cool and having our pictures in there. But yeah, that was nice. Vibrant's a nice compliment.
Vivien Robison, Lindsay's mother, was Lindsay's first teacher, making sure all her children sang together.
Well, Lindsay grew up in a family of musicians. And as a mother, I sort of had to be careful that no one was focused in on it more than anybody else. And so we handled that by teaching them all to harmonize.
It was only when Lindsay began her master's work that her vocal talent showed through.
She would sing for our master classes, and rather than just singing, Caro mio ben, she would make beautiful music out of it. Caro mio ben, so that it wasn't just notes. It was it was beautiful singing, you know, and I saw that that was already in her, and that perhaps because she had grown up around it, it was part of her already.
Lindsay never planned on a career in opera, but looking back, remembers falling in love with it.
I remember we were watching it, and some video or like a recording from the Met, and I asked my dad where that was, and he said it was the Metropolitan Opera, and I said, is that the highest place that you can go in opera? And he said, yeah. That's probably the highest place. And I thought, oh. And I sat there and watched the people on the TV, and I thought, that's interesting. I wonder if I could ever do that.
Clayne Robison, Lindsay's father, teaches classical voice at BYU and is an accomplished opera performer. He compares his daughter to Maria Callas, a renowned opera singer in the 50s and 60s.
People watch her and see her on stage and hear her, and often the comparison is made to Maria Callas, and I think everybody can kind of see that. She has that passionate face, interesting face. It's very striking.
Lindsay's father trained her vocally and compliments her presence on stage.
The minute she walks on stage, people are aware that something important has happened. Not that she particularly draws attention to herself. She just carries herself very regally and always comes on stage for a purpose.
Along with a musical family, bachelor's and master's degrees, Lindsay toured with BYU's choral group to Carnegie Hall in New York, the Middle East, and Great Britain. Lindsay recalls singing to inmates at a British prison.
That was a really good moment for feeling the importance of singing and what singing does. That it is for making people to be more human when they're in that kind of a situation.
Hicken, a close friend of Lindsay's, also traveled with BYU's choral group and sums up Lindsay in one sentence.
She is class. And in any setting, put her in a prison, put her on the Met stage, put her in a pair of jeans. She's classy.
Lindsay's on a path that will take her from practicing in her living room to performing on the Opera House stage. The hardest part for her so far hasn't been her past training or the uncertainty of her future success, but what she's doing right now.
Finished with school, starting a realization that your whole life is going to be an audition, and having to deal with that and figure out how to get yourself advertised, if you will, to get your name out there and not only that, but to have the confidence to know that people aren't going to think you're really stupid for doing that.
Lawrence Vicent offers some advice to his award-winning student.
My advice would be for her to pursue and open as many doors as possible as soon as she could. And then at the same time find the balance in her life of what she really wants.